second episode of the podcast guy. So this gentleman here, I remembered it last time. I haven't been practicing since. Lance Bowen, the exceptional close-up magician. Did we get it right again?
You've got it right.
Legend. I might have cheated, guys. I have just tagged him, and I have just done it on his phone as well. So I did have a sneaky little peek. But Lance, it's lovely to see you again, bud.
Pleasure again.
It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been, what, about 4.5 days now?
Yeah, at least.
Since I last saw you. No, guys, honestly, I was so heartbroken. I was heartbroken when I saw that the video didn't do, because it kept starting and stopping. And then when I got home, man, and I just listened to the audio, and I was like, fuck. I said, I can't use that. If I was to listen to someone else's podcast like that, I probably would have switched off. So I don't want people to switch off, because the content was brilliant. Lance was amazing. His first podcast, phenomenal. He blew my fucking mind, guys. He done a couple of tricks. Are we going with the relatively? So we're going to do like a rope. It's going to be a rope trick, and there's going to be a card trick. And he fried my brain in both of them, I'll be honest with you. And I'm sat on the left. I've been told I need to sit on the left. So
yeah, it'll be for. I'll change what I did with the cards. So
you can't blow my mind any more than you did the last time, Lance.
Wait to see.
Oh, that sounds like a plan, guys. Sounds like a plan. So, right, I'm the podcast guy. This is Lance Bowen. I've known Lance for a few years. He is absolutely mind-blowing. For me, you are the best at what you do. We had a couple of, not disagreements the other day, but you don't get the title exceptional for being average.
Yeah, it's... Obviously, I've named my business page that. And it came from other magicians many years ago on my old page before someone wrongly reported me for being myself. On Facebook.
It's a bastard when that happens, isn't it?
Unfortunately, Facebook literally refused to let me prove it was me, and they instantly just deleted my account with I don't know how many videos on it. Unfortunately, a lot of my old family photos are on it from our holidays. And when I changed my phone, they didn't come across. They were literally on that page, so we lost all of that. About 3,500 friends, and I don't know how many thousand followers I lost. Like one video had about 500,000 views, I think, because people were sharing it. But yeah, it's
a tough old slog to try and get back to that, isn't it? Because you kind of appreciate how long it's taken you to get there first off.
Yeah.
But then once people have invested the time to click the follow button originally, to watch the video, to try and get them to do the same again, to sort of emulate and get to the status and position where you was with the followers, the views.
Yes, exactly.
It's very difficult to get people to sort of rewatch something. I noticed that from my first podcast. Facebook Live was a great way of doing it, went absolutely bonkers. And then I've uploaded it to Spotify and YouTube, and you just kind of didn't get that traction because they've already seen it on Facebook. And this is why I thought to give you, after the podcast that we'd done, I was like, do you know what? More people need to see and hear you through Facebook Live than there's a few initially that's going to see it on YouTube and Spotify. So in terms of being a magician, do you know what? I've heard this once, and I'm still... like a kid of fucking Chris. I'm still excited to hear it again because it's a great story in terms of where you started, what you've put into it, to the position you're in now. So at what sort of age did you start?
So I started when I was 6 years old.
Right.
And I'm 52, so it's been a long, long old journey. But basically I was one of those curious kids who watched the magicians on TV.
Yeah.
And always thought to myself, how is that possible? So I didn't ask my parents on my 6th Christmas. I begged them for a magic set. And luckily enough, that Christmas, I got one. So I literally learned everything in the magic set.
So not just one thing, you just literally...
I learned it all.
Cover to cover.
So it took me months and months and months to get through it. I didn't really show it to anyone. It was just for me. Just for me to know how these people on the TV, the guys I was watching... the likes of like David Williamson, and you got Paul Daniels, Tommy Cooper. I love Tommy Cooper. So all these kind of guys baffled me, and I thought that I know there's a way to do it. I just don't know what it is. So that kind of started my journey off. In my teens, I kind of put it on the back burner for girls, as you do. And of course, my later teens for girls and alcohol, as you do. But yeah, I kept my kind of hand in, and I was just doing the odd bar bet here and there, you know.
Yeah.
Get a free pint when you're out.
Oh, it's not bad if you go to 10 different pubs in a night, mind, is it?
Oh, since I, well, what was I? 26, I think it was, when I decided, right, I'm going to go for this. I love magic, literally, it's my passion. And I was kind of getting booked immediately for weddings and all sorts of events.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, you can earn some money off this. Yeah, so that's what started. So I'm moving into my 27th year this year of travelling around the UK, getting paid to do what I love.
I think this is a thing as well. It's like I get it as a performer, and literally my gig on Saturday, because my show's kind of gone a bit wild now. I open my mouth and I fucking cringe at what comes out. And I actually say to them, this is daylight robbery. I can't believe I actually get paid for this, because I love what I do. I can be myself. I don't have to have the airs and graces and wear the three-piece suits and this, that, and the other. People book me because of what I do, not what I wear. And it's the same with you. They book you for what you do. And the fact that you are so passionate and you love what you do so much, it's not a job. I know, like you say, you've got another job as well, but this is probably the best hobby you could ever wish to have, really. Well, because it pays.
To me, it's like the best job in the world, because people pay me to cheat them. Yeah. And the pleasure of it is they already know I'm going to cheat them, and they pay me to do it.
And they still do it.
And they love it.
I think that's always the thing with magic. You want to be that one person who catches you out, don't you? I think that's why they book you, in the hope.
I get a few, even at the restaurant. So I'm part of the Casabianca residence team. So we cover Ponty, Merthyr and Abergavenny. Yeah. I think there's about 10 of us now, I think, around about that. Because obviously we have our weddings, corporate events, parties. It takes that many of us to be able to cover 3 restaurants for a Friday and a Saturday every weekend. And even then, sometimes, most of us are booked and we can't cover every single restaurant. But yeah, so I get people, it happened on Saturday actually, because I was in Casabianca, Merthyr Tydfil on Saturday. One table said, I always thought that, okay, you see it on TV, camera tricks. And I've always thought to myself, if I ever see that in front of me, there's no way that I won't be able to work it out. Yeah. And literally, I finished on the table. They said, have you got a business card? Because we've got parties coming up in the summer, and we want you there. Yeah. So yeah, it's a strange thing where I remember many, many years ago, in my local, the corner house in Llwguid, when Mark and Jan had it. A lovely couple. They moved to Merthyr. Absolute diamonds. There was a group of guys in there. I'd never seen them before, and this was my local. I was in there every weekend. And somebody came up to me and said, oh, I've just been told you're a magician. Can you have a bit of fun with us? Yeah, no problem. So I spent 10, 15 minutes with them. Went back and had a few drinks with my mates. And then another guy approached me later in the evening. He said, right, mate, my friends over there said you're a magician. Any chance you can show me what you showed them? I said, yeah, no worries. I didn't realise you weren't with them in the first place. He said, no, he said, I'm a member of Mensa. So they've asked me to come over, watch what you do, and then go back and tell them how it's done. And I went, oh, right, okay. So I said, everything that I've done for them, you want? Yeah. So I literally spent, again, 10, 15 minutes with him. And hand on heart, and because of my brand, I don't like swearing, so I'm going to bleep that part out. Right. He said...
Whisper it to me, I'll say it, lads.
You're an absolute...
twat.
He said, I'm not going to effing sleep tonight. And he turned around and walked away. So it's the old adage, bullshit baffles brains. Yeah. So you're talking... I believe it was Di Vernon. Oh, dear God, like the godfather of magic. If you ever get a chance to look up Di Vernon, the professor, incredibly, he's passed away now. He passed away in his 90s, I believe. But he fooled Harry Houdini. I believe it was Harry Houdini who said he can work anything out if he sees it 2 or 3 times. Di Vernon literally blew him away doing the same thing over and over. And you wouldn't believe how simple it is. No. It's just, if you have the right technique when you do this, it can't be seen. No matter how many times you watch it and look at it, you won't see it. And it drove Houdini bonkers.
And that's the thing, because of how established Houdini is, I think that probably would have
Oh, it destroyed
Killed
him.
him.
I believe
Yeah.
it was Houdini, yeah. But Dai Vernon literally just repeated it over and over, and he couldn't figure out how he was doing this thing. But Dai Vernon literally created most of the card magic that we as magicians today perform. He created most of the techniques himself, and a gentleman called Ed Marlowe. You've got the Bible of card magic, so you've got the Royal Road to Card Magic, and you've got Expert at the Card Table by Erdnase. Now, S.W. Erdnase. Unfortunately, no one by the name of S.W. Erdnase has ever existed.
Is it a Banksy?
It's a
Is it a Banksy?
So something is could possibly be reversed. If you reverse it, it's S.W. Andrews, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But they can't find him. But this guy was a true gambler, and he wrote a book over 100 years ago, and it's the Card Magic Bible for magicians. It's still read and used by card magicians worldwide. But yeah, this whoever Erdnase was a serious legend with a deck of cards.
That is crazy.
But, I forgot to mention why I ended up being called Lance Moore, the exceptional close-up magician. I got sidetracked, sorry. When I used to post lots of videos to my old Facebook page, I had magicians literally from around the world saying, that's exceptional, that's exceptional, that's exceptional. So I thought, well, if this is coming from magicians
Fellow
around
magicians,
the world,
not just Joe Blogs who's had a bottle of Lambrini in the house. And
this isn't some guy from down the pub. These are my peers from around the world. These are some of literally top-class, world-class guys. So if they're saying that, then I thought, okay, then I'll use that as a business page.
Yeah.
So that's how that came about.
So in terms of everything you've done, so you've been doing magic for best part of 46 years. And then
mainly for the
past a career for the last 26, 27 years.
27.
So in terms of what you've done as a career, so what would you say has probably been the highlight booking? So obviously we'll talk about other things that have happened in the last couple of years, but in terms of something which you've probably done and you thought, you know what, I never in my wildest dreams thought I would have done this.
Oh God.
Whether it be travelling, sort of opportunities that could have come your way.
Well, I did Stuart Cable from the Stereophonics. He booked me for his 40th birthday party. Unfortunately, just a few days later, he passed away, which is really saddening considering I literally just had a ball with him.
Yeah, for his 40th.
And all his friends, you know. But I've been offered contracts out in Mallorca. People have asked to fly me to the Isle of Wight. People want me in the Isle of Man. One guy asked me if he could fly me out to Turkey to do a family party for him. And I said, it's a long way. You've got magicians here.
Yeah.
And he said, no, if I can get you out here, I want you. Now, we were actually on holiday. We were on our honeymoon at the time in Turkey. And I got chatting to him, and he had...
He's the only person who could do magic for a free drink and all-inclusive.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, so it ended up... he had 7 wives, 13 children, and he was taking on an 8th wife the year after because his wages were going up. So I said, well, how big is your family if you're going to fly me all the way to Turkey? He was going to be paid... He literally told me how much he'd pay me. It was an extortionate amount of money.
Yeah.
Plus my flights and accommodation and everything. And he said not all of them can be there because lots of them can't get over from certain parts of the world at that time of year, but there'll be about 400 for a family party.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So he was determined to fly me out there. Unfortunately, it didn't come off due to timings of things. I was booked to work on a yacht off the coast of Paphos. Unfortunately, the girl fell pregnant and was unable to go out there to get married, so that fell through. But yeah, I've been offered some really, really good things over there.
When you look at it, they are quite privileged opportunities, isn't it? Because there's so many. It's like I got flown out to sing in Ibiza, and up until I think it was September. Around about September, that was probably the highlight of my career.
Yeah.
Like you say, when you get to perform for people who are established with names, like I got to sing Jagger and Woody booked me for his daughter, and that was just
that was incredible. When
for me, God knows what will top that. It'd have to be something. I think if Tom Jones booked me, which is never going to happen,
Yeah.
I genuinely think that is probably the only thing that would ever eclipse that.
Yeah, because they are literally radio living legends.
Oh, absolutely. But they
Shagger
still
Woody, I
support
love
and,
them.
and share all my stuff as
Oh,
well.
yeah,
So it's like
yeah.
I've worked with them since Christmas time down in Noah's Ark Children's Hospital
Yeah.
as well, which was a great opportunity to be invited down. That was courtesy of Welly's Farm. So Eddie contacted me to go down and work with Jagger and Woody. But in terms then of...
Well, I'll tell you something else interesting that's now happened to me.
Right. Can you say it?
Yes, I spoke to someone earlier on today.
Right.
And they said it's okay to mention it.
Right.
So, what was it? Well, over a year ago now. 7 of us from around the UK. They wanted 7 top-class magicians who were unknown to the British public to do a documentary on magic itself. So, yeah, so we've done our interviews, we've done a bit of filming, it all kind of culminated in a stage show in the world famous Lauren Hardy Museum in Elverston back in November. There's more filming to do, so I've got a bit of travelling again this year to get some more things filmed. You got Matt Routledge, the director, film director, legend of a guy. He's just, I'm not sure if he's still in the Philippines or if he's flown home now, because he had to film 3 out in the Philippines as well. Plus they've been travelling around different magic conventions as well. But it's going to take another year or 2, I think, by the time everything is filmed and edited down, ready to put out. But it's probably going to be pitched to, I should imagine, Amazon. Oh, Matt Routledge's last documentary is now ranked #1 on Amazon Prime, which is the Gypsy Billionaire. And he's literally just won a really prestigious award for that documentary as well.
And I've managed to get Lance on Little Omie's podcast.
So
Brilliant.
So we are,
I'll take it.
So we've got the right people there doing everything for us and literally letting us know where we need to be, what we need to be doing. So yeah, there's a fair bit of filming left to do this year. But big shout out to my good mate Dean James, who's organised all, legend of a guy as well in magic. So if anyone in the magic community is watching, you'll know who Dean James is. Think of the Rain Man.
Intrigued. I'm intrigued now.
Legendary. The stuff he does is just incredible. But yeah, so there's lots and lots of different things that kind of have snowballed on top of the back of other things.
Yeah.
So yeah, so at some point, fingers crossed, when it's all edited and put together, it's going to be either pitched to Amazon, Netflix, well, all of them, I should imagine, terrestrial TV, and whoever picks it up will buy it. So at some point, fingers crossed, we're going to be on the big screens as well.
And
so,
if he's been working with and sort of got a #1 documentary with Amazon Prime, then
he travels all over the world.
it just goes to show how prestigious he and his work is. So that just makes you an opportunity even sweeter to get to work with someone like that as well.
Not that long ago, he was being flown all over Dubai in a helicopter, doing documentaries for was it a sheikh or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an Arab sheikh. But like, I can't swear down on that, but it was someone
Quite
extremely-
established,
quite established and extremely wealthy. But yeah, he travels all over the world, filming anything and everything for people. But one of his documentaries is now #1 on Amazon Prime.
So would have thought little old you, 6 years old, writing your letter to Santa to say, I've been a really, 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 really good boy this year, Santa.
Yeah.
Can I please have a magic set?
Yep.
To having an opportunity to work with someone as established,
Yeah, it's
to work with other magicians who are unknown but still established, to have an opportunity.
Unknown to the British people, but within the magic community, they're very well known people. They're known all over the world, a lot of them. So, like, we kind of, it's strange because I'm just a guy next door. I'm Lance Bowen from Aberdeen, you know what I mean? Just one of the coal mining valleys in South Wales, who just loved magic, and all of a sudden, everything is just unfolding.
Slotted into place.
Yeah, it's taken a lot of years to get there. It's like James Piper, very good mate from Aberdeen, so he literally lives about 6-7 minutes drive from me. So you'd probably know James Piper and his son Dylan. from Britain's Got Talent.
Yes,
in
yeah.
finals. Yeah. So myself and James meet up when we can for a coffee, and it's getting far and far too difficult to find time. Because every time I've got a free couple of hours, he's busy, and vice versa. But when we meet up, we just run through different ideas. And I don't think James would mind me saying that he'd literally share the ideas he had for some of his acts on Britain's Got Talent, and then we'd run a few ideas and see where they took him, you know. But so I was kind of privy to what James was doing.
I think that's pretty incredible, though, because, like you say, a lot of people in entertainment, so entertainment is such a broad spectrum, but a lot of people in entertainment are not too happy to do stuff like that. You know, they like to keep things very close to their chest, and you know, I want to win, you know, take and not give a lot. So I think for that to be the case in the magic community, that's a really good thing.
We kind of have that kind of aspect within the magic community where people are going to hold on to things, but in by and large, it's people just love to share things within the magic community and teach each other things. So you can teach someone something, and then in return they might teach you 4 or 5 different things. You know? And then, but it's just a mutual thing where if they like something you do and you say, oh, well, no problem, I can teach you on the quiet, and like you teach me, I say, oh, here's something you might like, and it might be something you've never seen before. And I think, holy shit, I got no idea how he's just done that. And they just say, okay, let's have a little chat.
But I think it's great that you, in the position you're in of fooling people, can still be fooled yourself. I think
it's the greatest feeling in the world. For a magician,
because
hands down, for a magician, being fooled is the greatest experience on this planet.
You fried my brain when you fooled me on Thursday, so I can only imagine that must be times 20 or 30 for you, because your mind works in such a way, and your hands and your eyes to do what you do, to then be sort of hoodwinked.
There's
frustration.
I've had friends over the years fool the pants off me, and they said, do you want me to show you how it's done? And I said, no.
You want to work it out yourself?
No, just leave me with that feeling for a bit. I don't want to know. If I ask at some point, then let me know. But I just want to hold on to that feeling, because obviously being a magician, it's so difficult to get fooled. But when you are fooled, what a feeling. It literally blows your mind. You want to know how it's done. You want to know the method. But at the same time, you don't. You just want to keep that feeling, because it happens so rarely, you know? But it's the best feeling in the world. I love it when people fool me.
That is awesome. Love it. Well, a couple of people comment. So Dean have said, hey, cheers, Lance. Love you too. Guys, if you can just give it a share, if possible, for those of you who are on. I know people are dipping in and dipping out. If you can give it a share, I'll give it a proper share as well later. In terms of, and we talked a bit of this on Thursday last week, in terms of being an entertainer, it's the best, most lonely job on the planet. And we talked about this the other day. Many times, and you will have seen it yourself, it's like you go to your booking sort of on your own. In terms of like when I go to a booking, like New Year's Eve, for a class example, or if you do like a private party, everyone's there with their friends and family. You were there like a spare prick in a wedding.
And you don't know anyone.
And you don't know anyone. And sometimes it can be difficult to motivate yourself to walk through the door. And again, this is a conversation that we had on Thursday last week, in terms of, I was quite not shocked about your stage presence when you done the magic that we're going to do later, but to see how I know you can walk into a room, and I've been there myself so many times, where you think, do you know what, it's taking everything you've got just to walk through the door, and then to flick that switch, to be the showman that I saw the other day. It is. It's such a, how do you sort of deal with that?
Oh God, there's been so many times over the years where I've literally pulled up to a venue and I'm so tired, because I have a day job as well. Big shout out to my mate Kevin Spencer. And my boss, a legend of a guy.
Pay
Absolute
rise,
legend.
pay rise.
Pay rise. Yeah, so, and he's a diamond, so he said, any time you need offer bookings, you've got it. I don't like to do it during the week if I can help it. Simply because I don't want to leave him down and leave him struggling. But if something does come up, if something happens and someone says, look, I desperately need you there, could you be there? If I speak to Kev, he say, yep, go for it. You're an absolute legend, a lovely bloke. Yeah, so sometimes you've got an evening booking and you've had a hard day, because my day job is a physical job. So in the summer, in any given day, I can walk 10 miles plus just cutting lawns. We cut hedges, trees. We do building work, fences, lots of fences. After the winds, we'll be doing a lot of those. But yeah, so you come home, you're tired. I haven't got time to eat. I literally in, shower, suit, out the door. It might be an hour and a half, 2.5 hour drive. Get there, and I'm so tired, and I maybe booked anything from 2 hours to 4 hours. Yeah. And my head is down, and I'm thinking, just drive home. But then the professional side of me literally clicks in and think, you're a pro. This is what you do. You know what I mean? Just give yourself a kick up the butt, get yourself through that door, and do what you do best. And then I always akin it to the arm wrestling film, Sylvester Stallone, Over the Top. Yeah. When he said to his son, because he always wore a baseball cap, and the second he turned that baseball cap, he turned from this guy to an absolute animal on the arm wrestling scene. So I kind of look at it like that. The second I walk through that door, you flick a switch. I'm no longer just Lance Bowen you're having a chat with like here. I'm Lance Bowen on a bucket load of speed. Yeah. And I'm Lance Bowen on a bucket load of speed for the next 4 hours. Sometimes I'm so tired leaving there. Yeah. I'm soaked with sweat. You wouldn't believe it. You think, how hard can it be to do a few card tricks? But when you're bending over a table and you're on your feet solidly for like 3-4 hours, you're constantly smiling. You're cracking jokes.
It's mental as well.
Yeah, you're cracking jokes. You're getting everyone laughing and joking, having fun. To do that solidly for 4 hours, I come home and I'm soaked with sweat. Sometimes I've limped back to the car. Yeah. My back is in so much pain. My feet are burning. I've got to the car and think, I can't drive home. I'm just too tired.
2.5 hours,
Yeah, I literally can't drive home. And I think to myself, just have an hour's sleep here. And then I think, oh God, I can't. I got to get up at 6 a.m. I'm not going to go until midnight as it is. Yeah. So then it's off again, and then back up at 6 a.m. and start again. But the other part of that is, because we spoke about this on the last podcast we did, the kind of went awry.
The one that we didn't.
Yeah, the one that we didn't do. Your every single job title within your company. You're not just, so I'm not just Lance Bowen the magician. Yeah. I'm Lance Bowen the tea boy. I'm Lance Bowen the accountant. I'm Lance Bowen the secretary. Yeah. I'm Lance Bowen the magician. I'm Lance Bowen the cleaner. And I have a family life and a day job.
A day job.
Plus, you also have to respond to people as quickly as possible, usually within less than an hour. Otherwise, sometimes they'll go elsewhere. So yeah, your mind is firing at 1,000,000 miles an hour, just day in, day out.
And this is what I said. We talked about this. We touched on this when we filmed it on Thursday. I was doing a wedding fair a week last Sunday. I'd done one the week before, which was really, really good, and I was still having inquiries coming in. Yeah. And I'd set up. The wedding fair started. Everyone was coming in. Then you have that little bit of a lull. Yeah. So I was like, right, have a quick look at my phone. And I could see a message on my Secret Singing Guy page. Hi, saw you last week in the Vale Hotel. Then I had a WhatsApp. I know you're in a wedding fair, but I've got, I think it was my daughter's getting married. We want to book you as a secret singer. And I was like, when you just want to message them, because it's happened to me so many times, you leave someone, and you're bound to have had this happen to you. When you leave a message unopened, and then all of a sudden, then you answer it a couple of hours later, you know, and they turn around and they say, oh, well, I booked someone else now. Yeah. And I'm thinking, for the sake of waiting a little bit, if they've messaged you, there's obviously some appeal as to why they want you. Yeah. I think if he don't reply by tomorrow, I think, oh yeah, fair enough. I think a couple of hours, because that is the joys of entertainment, and it being a weekend as well, that is our prime.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened to you?
So if I get messaged before I get to the venue, I literally message them back before I go in and say, right, I'm just about to go in to entertain a wedding or a corporate event or a party. I'll message you as soon as I come out. There have been times where, because I don't keep my data on when my phone's in my pocket, when I'm at a booking, because my phone, if you can imagine your Facebook groups, your WhatsApp mess, everything.
Yeah.
Literally, my phone just is constant.
Red hot.
Bing, 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 bing. So I never do that. So when I come out, usually, if I switch it on in the car, and I have to a lot of the time, because I don't know my way home from where I am, to get my sat-nav going, I have to sit there for a minute, just waiting for my phone to stop binging. So I scan through quickly, and if it's something I need to reply to very quickly, I'll do it before I leave. Yeah. But it'll just be a quick message saying, right, I've just left a wedding. I'll be home in like 2.5 hours. I'll try to get the information off to you before I get to bed, because I might not get on till midnight, 1 o'clock. I still try to get that information off to them. But I do state that if I'm too tired, please accept my apologies. I'll get it off to you first thing in the morning. But yeah, I've had it in the past where I've come out of, I think it was a 4-hour wedding. Someone, when I looked at it, had messaged me literally just after I'd gone in. And I hadn't long switched my phone off because I had to use the sat-nav to get there. So I'd switched my data off. And when I came out, I messaged them saying, sorry, I've been in a wedding for the last 4 hours. I'll get the information off to you as soon as I get home. They said, oh, don't worry, we've booked someone else now. So literally within 4 hours of messaging me, I've lost the booking. They
found someone else.
Yeah, it's because people get impatient. And I know they don't mean to be angry and nasty at you, but they don't understand that every job title within your business is yours.
Is you, yeah.
Plus you have a family life, but you constantly, your mind is 100 mile an hour all day long, because your phone doesn't stop going off. You get it through, I don't know if it's happening to you, I'm getting message requests, queries now, booking queries, through Google Maps. I had another one yesterday. So so I responded to that, and they emailed me today asking the same question. So I explained that I had responded to them yesterday, but obviously they didn't get my reply, so I sent them the information. So they can have a chat with husband this evening, and let me know. So fingers crossed, but that's an evening booking as well. So
if you are watching this and you have replied to him and he doesn't answer you back, it's because I've got his phone for the comment, so he will respond to you shortly.
He's responsible for
Class
this,
example. How much
me.
is it going to cost me if it costs you a book in hand?
Exactly.
But no.
But so the journey's been a good one, and it's kind of culminated not just working with some amazing magicians from around the UK for this documentary. Ever since I was a child, the Magic Circle.
This was what I was just about to come on to now.
A dream for me, to thinking, become a member of the Magic Circle. But being from the valleys in South Wales, you always think you're not good enough.
Not good enough,
but my wife said to me, it's been a childhood dream, just go for it. And I said, it's London. I hate big cities. I don't do well in them. I keep getting lost. I travel to them to do bookings, but I keep getting lost. And she said, look, just go for it. So I applied, did my online interview sometime in the middle of the year, passed that with flying colours, and I was given an exam date of the 28th of November 2022. So my wife Emma and I travelled up by train, spent all day in London. And typical, we went to the wrong part where there was nothing to do. So she wanted to look around the shops. That didn't work out well. So
it worked out well for you. Saved a couple of quid.
As far as a couple of quid I saved, so that evening I did my exam in the Magic Circle in the Devant room. And the Magic Circle, what a building. If you ever get a chance, and you can go to the Magic Circle, they hold evenings there where you can buy a ticket and go in and watch close-up magic and a stage show and things. So I was asked to actually travel up there and do it, and it was all booked in. I was going to go up there and entertain in the close-up arenas there, and unfortunately something happened where the money I had one side for that had to go elsewhere. So unfortunately I couldn't make it. But so I did my exam, And on the 7th of December 2022, I had a phone call from Brian, who's one of the examination team. He phones me up at 8:30 in the morning. A strange time, I thought, but it was a welcome phone call. Yeah. And said, right, it's good news, you've passed. So literally, I was not just humble, but so overjoyed. I started filling up. I can feel myself filling up now, actually. But he said, right, there is something else. And I literally stopped him. I said, right, before you go any further, whatever's coming, will I still be a full member? And he went, you're a full member no matter what. So I was overjoyed with that. And he said, you scored so highly that they've entered you in at the highest entry level possible, which is an associate of the inner magic circle with a silver star for performance excellence. And then I started getting messages. I know, yeah. I did start to cry there.
Yeah.
I spoke to the wife. I said, it's the magic circle. So, and when he started speaking...
Was she like, what's he saying?
When he started speaking, we were in the kitchen when he started speaking. I literally walked into the living room, into the passage, because I feel myself filling up when he said you've been entered as an associate. It's called an AMIC Silver Star. And then I got messages from around the world saying, do you know how rare that is? And I said, no. And I paid absolutely no attention because I was just so happy just to be now
accepted,
a member of what many people, well, the vast majority of magicians around the world class as the most prestigious magic club on the planet. So I was so overjoyed and humbled with that. I was starting to fill up, and these messages kept coming through, and I paid no attention until a gentleman called Anthony Darkstone. Big shout out to you, Anthony. Legendary guy in the world of magic. American gentleman. So he's also the executive producer. He's also AMIC Silver Star, but he's also, among other things, as well as president of SAM, I think. So the Society of American Magicians, I believe. He's also the executive producer of the Magic News Network, which covers magic worldwide.
Is that the video that you showed me the other day?
Yeah. So he emailed me to say, is it correct you made AMIC Silver Star through one exam? So I emailed him back, said, that's correct, sir. He said, okay, I'm going to have to put you on the news in January because you've literally just joined a very elite amount of people in the world. So I never found out how many, but a friend of mine who also made AMIC Silver Star, legendary guy with the cards, Paul Pickford. See you in Blackpool, mate. I'll see all the rest of you guys and you, Dean. See you all in Blackpool in February. I believe he inquired, and I don't know how true this is because I haven't heard it myself, but apparently it's the number was given as less than 50 people. So since 1906, when the Magic Circle was first formulated and first opened, so it's 118 years now. Wow. Less than, from what I can gather, less than 50 people have ever achieved what myself and Paul and Daniel Chard, another legendary card guy.
That's truly spectacular, that is, though. Yeah. When you look at, and like you say, people like you from Wales, from the valleys, don't get those kind of opportunities.
Yeah, it does.
And yet you are in. Yeah. When you look at an elite status, and within sort of entertainment, that's like I was pretty
incredibly humbled when I found out I made AMIC Silver Star.
But it's the way the way they sort of made you do it as well, because you thought you was performing to.
Oh no, this was a different. This is the Magic Circle.
Oh, this.
So I believe this is the conversation we had about Cardiff Magic many years ago. Cardiff Magic.
Well, you'd done it, and then the audience was still there, and you didn't realise.
That was Cardiff Magic Society
right.
when I first joined there. Yeah, so I'm also a member of Cardiff Magic Society. Magicians International, which is also run by Anthony Darkstone. That's a wonderful club as well. Just the motto is everything is done with kindness. So there's no egos, and there's some legendary names in there. So your ego you leave it behind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the way it should be.
Perhaps a few people in the singing world could take a note with that then.
Yeah. I can't comment. I don't know that.
Oh no, I can comment. Yeah, you get him every. Yeah, there's a few.
You get him in all
he knows
walks
who he
of
is.
life, yeah.
Can take a note. Yeah.
You get them in all walks of life. But yeah, so a lot of the places that I'm a member of, your ego stays outside the door. These are your peers you're with now.
Yeah.
So you treat them with respect, you know what I mean? But yeah, so, well, the Cardiff Magic one that I did like 20 odd years ago, I can't remember exactly how long, but my exam should have just been in front of only the magicians in the club that evening. And they'd had like a family children's event down there. And there was like 100 odd people in there. So the Cardiff Magic Society, the club where they meet is Cardiff Yacht Club, a beautiful venue. So I know president of Cardiff Magic is Harry Harrington. Oh, sorry. Apologies, Harry. Lord Harry Harrington.
Oh yeah, you don't want to go forgetting that.
Lord Harry Harrington. He's also the guy who runs the residency team for Casabiancas as well. Legendary guy, incredible creator of magic as well. So he's one of the dealers in Blackpool this year as well. So I'll be coming. Oh, where's he? I'll be coming to see you. But yeah, so the exam should have happened just in front of, and I think there was about 15, 20 magicians in that evening, because obviously they'd put a show on for all of these people. And Viv, who was the president at the time, a lovely, lovely fella, everyone stood up to leave, and he announced my exam. So everyone sat down again. so
Rather than be disrespectful and say no, stand up and go.
So my first ever exam in magic wasn't just in front of the magicians that evening. It was in front of a packed out crowd of like 100 people. But it worked out well. There was a young lady, because the thing you're about to see, the thing I do with ropes, I performed that that evening, but not everything you're about to see. I just performed the part that I'd learned from, in my honest opinion, one of the greatest, if not the greatest rope magician on the planet, the legendary Francis Tabarly, French magician, ex-world champion of magic. Incredible. So I performed his routine because it was done like a parlor. So I performed his routine, and it was later that myself and James Piper and Vince Stevens sat down to create what you're about to see this evening to finish with Closer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I performed that along with other things, and a woman started crying, and she happened to be sat next to the Magic magazine editor. And when she asked her why she was crying, she said, "That's not sleight of hand, that's real." And she literally started crying, thinking that what I was doing was legitimately real magic. So I had a nice little write-up in the magazine for that one.
Yeah, see? But
I made an audience member crying, not intentionally.
But how good is that it goes to show. Now, I say mastered your craft. You did put me up on it on Thursday and say you never master, you never stop learning till the day you die, which is true.
There's lots of magicians out there, the real old timers. We as magicians class as the masters. You're talking like Marlowe, Di Vernon, you got Jeff McBride, and so many out there. But yeah, Eugene Berger, can't forget him. But yeah, we class those as masters, and we get called masters by other magicians as well. But in my head, I'm never going to master the craft fully, because there's just so much to learn. There are just so many genres in it as well, so many things that you can do. I can master and affect the things I perform for money. So as far as that's concerned, yes, that's mastery, because you've mastered the effect. You can literally do it in your sleep, and you've seen me do things with my eyes closed, so I can literally do them with my eyes closed. So that kind of mastery, yes, but I don't really class myself as a master of magic.
Yeah.
Like, I call my old mentor, Dave Gemmell, I call him a master of magic. He's ex-president of Portsmouth Magic Circle. He's also a published author, among other things. And the stuff that I learned from him, not so much effects, although he did teach me some over the years. And I ended up being his best man in his wedding. I watched his timing. He'd spend hours with me. He'd come out, drop his son off to karate and football and things, and spend hours in the house with me. And I just watched his timing.
Yeah.
And how he interacted with me, and just everything.
Which is what you did with me the other day.
Yeah. So when you learn, these are things you can't really be taught. I couldn't teach you timing.
No.
I couldn't teach you the art of, some call it misdirection. I prefer to call it audience management.
Yeah.
Because you're literally managing your audience to meet your needs.
Yeah.
Now, I can't really teach you that. You can learn it by watching how others do it.
Yeah.
And that's what I did with Dave Gemmell. I just watched and watched and watched, and he blew me away just for hours on end, week after week after week. What I didn't know at the time was all of that, everything I was watching, he was actually creating to write the book on card magic, which is published. So he did give me a mention there for sitting through hours and hours and hours. But Dave, I loved it. But yeah, so I've had the pleasure of just meeting so many incredible people around the world, not just magicians, but some kind of inspiring people. You meet them and listen to their stories, and you get to travel around and just some beautiful venues, beautiful places. And it's all because I love magic.
But you've done some magic which has left other magicians sort of in awe of what you've done. You've got that, I think it was a piece that you've done which literally fooled everyone and no one could work out.
Ah, yes. So that's something I created. It's actually for sale within the magic community now. Now, when I released it, I did specify to the magic company, Alakazam, a big shout out to Alakazam Magic, because over the years, as you go through magic, you'll find that like the ad copies, they look amazing, and when you buy it and you get it back, it's something you can't use in the real world. It's okay for like on screen, but you can't do a 360, and a lot of my work I'm literally surrounded, so I'm not able to use this, and you feel let down. So I literally said to them, full disclosure, this is what they need to know. This is so they have to be able to do this, they need to know this, and they need to be able to do this, and then there's this tacked onto it. If they can't do any of these, then don't buy it until you learn it, because you'll waste your money. Because some of the things in there will take you a year plus just to learn. I spent a year on one thing, that's part of it, and because I didn't have the time to dedicate to it, I just couldn't get it. And then my mate who's watching now, Dean James, who was the creator of the Rain Man deck and the mechanic, sensational. He asked me to learn this thing. And he said, do you know it? I said, no, I spent a year on it, I just didn't have time. And luckily, it was right at the start of lockdown. So 2 years worth of calendar filled, gone. I had nothing else other than my day job, because we work outside, we could still work through the pandemic. So I literally I came home and I said, right, I'm going to smash into it. So it took me 3 hours one night to do the 3/4 of it. The next day I spent my break on it, and then when I went home I put everything together, and it took me about an hour, hour and a half to actually be able to do it all without making any mistakes. So something that took me over a year, and I still couldn't get it, I managed to master in, well, not master, sorry, I managed to get my head around in 4.5 hours over 2 days.
I think because the stress really was taken out of it, really, COVID. It's like I learned more songs during COVID than I ever have, because we had that time to be able to do it. It's like I was doing the Facebook Lives. To me, it was an open audition, and I think that's where COVID gave me a business, destroyed so many, gave me a business because it afforded me the time to be Facebook Live for people to see me. So then when restrictions were lifted, the bookings came flooding in, and I know you was doing a lot of
I did a bit of online stuff.
But it sort of kept your hand in, and it kept that intrigue and that mystery there as well.
Because what we did a lot of during lockdown was all the magicians would get together, and we'd have like large group calls. And we'd literally be chatting on Zoom and doing stuff for each other on Zoom, you know, just keep ourselves sane. Because it's the same with you. You'll spend hours learning something and you're there on your own doing it.
Yeah.
It's the same for magicians. People don't realise how many hours we spend
Behind the
in
scenes.
a little room on our own, day in, day out, mastering the things that they then pay to see.
Yeah.
And that's where people start to question how much we charge. But what they don't remember is they're not paying for what they're seeing now. You know what I mean?
You're paying for 27 years of experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the rope routine that you're about to see, just to learn Tabri's section of it took me...
I don't think I can cope. It fried my brain the last time.
It literally took me 4 hours a day, 7 days a week for 6 weeks, just to learn all of the moves in Tabri's without making any mistakes.
Yeah.
And after myself, James Piper and Vince Stevens spent many weeks running through all different connotations of everything we could do with what we had in our hands until it came to what you see. To put the two together, it took me 18 months to completely master it to a point where I would make no mistakes, and I was able to then show it at the very first, the next booking that I did. That was the first time I ever performed it. So it took me 1.5 years to master it.
So you look at how many, well, 1.5 years, how many hours, minutes, seconds. Do you know what I mean? It's
stupid amount of hours into it. But that's what people don't realise, and they question the price. But then I say, well, how many magicians do you know? And they say, none. So right, if you Google it, you'll bring up a handful. You know what I mean? Now, when you consider, what is it, close on 8 billion people on the planet now?
Yeah.
Out of those 8 billion, you may have got a few million magicians. Out of those few million, you've got a small amount that are good enough to earn money at it.
Yeah.
So it's a niche market.
Yeah.
So this is why you pay that kind of money. You're not paying for just for that hour or there. You're talking, what was it, quarter of a century worth of, and more, sat in a room for the vast majority of the time.
And the experience and the accolades that's come with it as well. The magic.
Exactly.
Do you know, these are all things that you've plied your trade, you've put the hours in, clearly. I say he's a master because he friggin' fried me the other day. No, we did. To me, you are.
Yeah.
And I think just what I saw the other day, just... Should we give him a little sneak peek?
Give him something with the ropes,
is it?
Let's do something with the ropes. Come on in.
He said to me the other day, I'm going to do something with ropes. I said, if you tell me that it's called bondage, I said, I'm fucking running.
Kind of close, I suppose.
Yeah, right.
Right, so let's do a little something with these. So.
Guys, just for you to know as well, the man who's commented and said, nice house, it's my dad. We're actually filming in his house. He's away.
So
he's in
big
Torquay,
shout out to Mark's dad. He's away.
Yes.
He probably doesn't even know we're here.
No, he does. I did ask permission, yeah.
Right.
Let me just have a little look to see how we're... Right.
Yeah, we're there.
Cool.
Yeah? Excellent. So what you're about to see is genuinely not just the strangest, but the most annoying thing you're ever going to see done with a couple of ropes.
1,000,000%.
So you have one job and only one job.
Yeah.
And it's to watch the little knot in the middle. So if you take the two ends of the ropes and you tie them in a little knot, if you take your eyes fit, you'll miss the moment. But before we go any further, in case you doubt me, I know you probably don't, but we're going to check. Without pulling it too tight, make sure that's a real knot.
That is a real knot.
Excellent. I'm saying don't pull it too tight because we have to untie it at some point.
Right.
Now, sometimes, just sometimes, even the ordinary things in life, like a garden variety knot, is capable of doing the truly extraordinary. Watch the moment the knot jumps. You ready?
Yep.
Guess me every time. Do you see that thing jump?
Yeah.
No, I mean from the middle down to the end. Did not see it jump off here and land down there. Really? Okay, in that case you missed it. In that case, I moved too quickly. Let's slow this down a little. In fact, I'll do it on your command. Say jump back.
Jump back.
Done. No, really, it's done. I know, everyone thinks that's cheap, but if you tap your hands, he jumps over here. I know, strange. Strange now, if you ever untie this rope right now, something truly remarkable happens. Because believe it or not, we really do end up in an extremely small one. And of course, an extremely long one. I told you it's annoying. Now you're thinking, can he fix this? Oh, yes. Would you like to see this in slow motion, by the way?
Yes.
Let's do this in slow motion. The long one, the little one. The little one is the one you gently hang on the centre of the long one, just here. Then all you have to do is say the word fix.
Fix.
Done. No, really, it's done.
Fuck. It don't get any better. It's still frying my brain.
In fact, we can actually take 2 ends out here and keep 2 ends there. But if you pull right down here, that's when we end up in trouble because we get 3 of them. I told you it's annoying. That really is number 1, by the way. And that's number 2, and that has to be number 3. And you're thinking, one moment, lads. That's 3 ropes. I've only got 2 eggs. I'll get rid of one. Ready? There's no trick questions.
It's still not any better than you had me last week.
How many ends do you see?
4.
How many middles?
2.
If there are 2 middles but 4 ends, how many ropes?
2.
Brilliant. Although I prefer working with just the 1. I think it works far better. Well, I don't know about you. I know, I told you it's annoying. I can see what your issue is. You're struggling with the ends. Yeah. I'll make it easy for you. We just take the ends off. If you take the ends off, it leaves you in the middle with no ends, which is really, really confusing. Not for you, but for me. I need ends. See, if you take the ends and then you take the middle, you tap one to the other just like this. It kind of looks like they join together where your middle gets ends. You really are struggling with the ends.
I am.
Okay, let's get rid of them. Let's really tie them up this time. Now, most people, that's as tight as I'm going to tie them. Seems the moment we have to untie them. But most people have forgot about this one, Mark. Not you, my friend. Sharp as a tack. You were just going to say, what's he going to do with that? Glad you asked. Watch the... Oh, that used to be the middle. Watch what used to be the middle. Watch the loop. If you take this one and hang him gently through the centre of this loop just here. Strange things happen, but only when you say these 3 words. Wiggle and stretch.
Wiggle and stretch.
It sounds stupid, I know.
It does.
But when you wiggle, it kind of does start to look like he stretches, doesn't it? And stretches. And stretches. And stretches. And he'll continue to stretch, Mark, until he travels to the knot. When he travels to the knot, he goes over the knot. But when he goes over the knot, we go right back to where we began, my friend. Which is indeed with 2 lengths rope held together in the centre of the knot. And you're thinking, can I untie it? I know, untie it. Excellent. Yeah, just take it.
It may take me a while, guys.
It's easier if you just take the knot then.
For fuck's sake.
We'll take it one step further. You ready? Let's take these ends and wrap them up. Now, if you take this end and place it through the middle here and pull this end, then nothing ever happens. And if you pull this end, nothing happens. You're in trouble if you pull them both. When you do that, you end up with lots of them. Unfortunately, one seems to be the same length as the other, which is really confusing. Not for you, for me again. Because now we really do have one, which is, what's this? Oh, dear God, all the way up to my chest. This one over here, about the same length as my forearm. The nickname is my favourite. It's called my little itty bitty one. And the one around the neck, family show. This one's the same length as my leg. Oh, I know. What you get me. This is genuinely the long one. Which is this?
The long one?
Perfect. If that's the long one, then this is the medium one.
Medium one, yeah.
And my favourite, the little itty bitty one, which
Short
is the
one.
excellent, until you say stretch.
Stretch.
Really is annoying, isn't it? That really is number 1. That's number 2. That's, of course, number 3. And you're thinking,
3
please
pieces
stop.
the same,
You
yeah.
are genuinely starting to annoy me now, lads. In fact, look, we'll end it right here. Take hold of this one. In fact, take one over here. I'll take the middle one. Genuinely no idea how or why this works. I just know when I do this, I get the little one.
And it's not even a magnet either, guys.
Oh, yeah, everything's magnets.
This is the most frustrating part of it.
Yeah, it's just something silly you can do with a couple of lengths of rope.
Absolutely.
And that's why it took me 1.5 years to master.
I'm just as frustrated now and annoyed with myself as I was
Because you know what was coming.
Thursday.
Yeah. Even stranger than that, I've been asked to do that on stage when I've been on holiday. Because obviously I didn't have a headset on. They had to stand behind me and hold the mic under my arms. And at the end of it, he commented, he said, I was standing behind him and I still don't know what I was done.
Well, that's a hell of a term of endearment, that, isn't it?
So yeah, so these are just some of the silly things we magicians learn.
But that is an absolute wow, guys. Fair play. Bloody hell, let's go. An hour.
Is it now we're gone already?
And now we're gone already. Honestly, I think that's the beauty of entertainment. There's so much to talk about.
Oh, God, we could go on for hours and hours from here.
We 100% could.
Yeah. Oh, that's flown by.
But
Absolutely
honestly,
flown by.
it's been an absolute pleasure. What I might do, I think I might still have that video of the card trick.
Yeah.
I might
Right.
put that one on because you'll see, no doubt you can replicate that, but that was absolutely mind-blowing.
The one I was going to do with you this evening literally would have shredded your brain.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Should we go for it?
Have we got time?
Oh, well, we've got time. Yeah.
Let's go for it then.
Right
Ready?
then. Do I need to stand up?
You need to stand up.
Right, okay.
So let's have in fact, no, take a seat.
Yeah.
We will do this while you're sitting down.
Right, okay.
So, Oh, these I was playing with earlier on. While I was waiting for you in the car. I'll get rid of those. They're just the aces. Right. Shuffle them, my friend.
They're not the best to shuffle, right? Right.
Happy?
Yes.
Excellent. Do you know the order of these cards right now?
No.
No, me. Ready? So you say stop, and I'll try to stop. I'll close my eyes and look away, just in case anyone thinks that there might be a mirror or something.
Yeah, cool.
So just say stop.
Stop.
Right there?
Yep.
Excellent. See this card?
Yep.
Remember this card. Do you want me to show the camera?
Yeah, you can do if you want to, yeah.
Okay.
Would you want me to show him?
There you go. Hold it like that. Take it, I'll keep my eyes closed. You got it?
Yep, that's the way you gave him to me.
Excellent. Now you know that I cheat.
Yes.
So don't take your eyes off the card, because if you do, I will cheat you, my friend.
Right.
Watch that card genuinely going all the way back into the middle.
Right.
How fair was that?
That was very fair.
Way too fair. Even for me, that was fair.
Yes,
I have to
that
admit. People think I cheat. It really is a terrible life I lead. But if you see your card, just say yes. I keep my eyes closed in case people think that I'm trying to peek at something. If you spot it, just say yes.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
Excellent. So you know roughly where that card is in this
Yes.
deck. Excellent. So let's have some fun. Now, we can do this one of two ways. Way number one, it's my favourite. You tell me the name of the card. I literally just look through the cards, find him, hand it to you in an instant.
Right.
That's my favourite way. Way number two is far more difficult. Way number two is where you tell me nothing about your card and I have to figure it out. Which would you prefer?
The one where you blow my mind.
Okay, let's do this the hard way. Ready?
Yep.
Look at me. Don't say anything out loud. Red, black, club, heart, spade, diamond, ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, queen, king. Excellent. Do you know why the greatest poker players on earth wear peak caps and dark glasses?
No.
Stop people looking in their eyes. Luckily for me, you're not wearing either. Are you ready?
Yes.
You see, if I've read you right, when I said red or black, you instantly triggered on the word black. So I think you're thinking of a black card.
Right.
But I didn't want you to know that, so I just called them all out. Club, heart, spade, diamond. I didn't even need to go past club. The second I said club, you triggered again.
Yeah.
You're thinking of a club. But I need to know which one of the clubs. Now, of course, red, black, 50-50. Could have been a guess.
Yeah.
Wasn't, but it could have been. Of course, was it club, heart, spade, diamond? 1 in 4. Could have been a guess. Wasn't. But it could have been. The 1 in 13 is almost impossible to get. Ace the king. You think the 3 of clubs by any chance? Yeah. I know. Let's take this one step further. You ready?
Wow.
Watch. 3 of clubs from here to here in an instant. Now take that card to me. And I want you to sign your name on the face. Not your face.
On this bit, yeah?
Yeah. If you sign your face, that's a different trick altogether. And quite frankly, that's a hell of a face to fit in the deck.
That
it
is
might
very
be far
true.
too easy for me to find.
We've
Excellent.
gone with the podcast guy.
The podcast guy. So, show us on camera. I don't know if you can see that. Now, when you think about this, you genuinely could have chosen any card in the deck. And you had a free choice. You shuffled it.
Yeah.
How many 3 of clubs have you ever signed?
1.
When we see it again, it has to be yours then. You ready?
Yeah. I'm worried now.
Let's have some fun.
Right.
Now, I'm going to take you on a little journey back to the days of the old Mississippi riverboat gamblers. Because on these boats were genuinely some of the greatest card sharps the world had ever known. They earned their living from cheating at the gaming table.
Yeah.
And I pride myself, hand on heart, I genuinely pride myself. I've learned from the masters, past and present. And I really have been teaching magicians some things with cards for almost 2 decades now, if not more. You're about to see what happens when you can operate a deck of cards.
Right.
Let's take a little trip down the old Mississippi.
Right.
These guys were genuinely so skilled with a simple deck of cards. They could take any signed card and place him somewhere near the bottom.
Right.
Never on the bottom, because that's called cheating.
Right.
And they would never leave it on top, because that's also called cheating. So they didn't do that.
Right.
These guys were genuinely so skilled with the deck of cards, they could switch any card from anywhere in this deck to this position right here. And you'd never see that card move. But for the past 27 years, I've been doing it this way. You're now going to see the moment I literally steal your 3 of clubs from down here, to here, in heartbeat, at the gaming table. The switch takes the briefest of moments.
Right.
I'm going to do this gaming table speed. And it looks something like this.
For fuck's sake.
It's annoying, isn't it?
That
And you're
is
thinking to yourself, I genuinely shouldn't have missed that one. So you're going to help me out right now. Point your finger at my finger right here. Keep it right there.
Right.
Ready? Follow your card. You're going to help. When you're ready, I want you to take your finger and push that card all the way in.
Yep. What the
Oh, sorry. I cheat. What? Did I not mention I cheat? That's my fault. I apologise. Look, let's try and do this the other way. Ready? Is that your card?
Yes.
Excellent. Don't take your eyes. People used to say to me, is it possible to see the moment you actually switch a card in and out? The easiest way is this way. You ready? I'm going to do it slowly. Slowly. Watch the card again. Ready? Slowly. I'll bend it.
Right.
And I'll place it in the middle. You know what card that is. You know where
Yes,
that card
yep.
is. You know how many cards literally just dropped on top of that card.
Yep.
In order to get it back, you command it. Jump.
What?
And it jumps. And it has your name in it, which proves it's yours. Some people used to say, can you do this in slow motion? In slow motion, it looks like this. Ready? 3, 2, and 1. Done. See him go? I learned from those who cheat at the gaming table. You should have folded the card into my pocket, Mark.
Ah, come on now.
I know, but everyone thinks I cheat, but I only ever cheat when I take it out of this one, to be honest.
For fuck's
And
sake.
you're starting to wonder, how many of these has he got?
Yeah.
In fact, look, let's make it a... Try to put the pen back. Yeah. So, let's make it a bit more interesting.
Right.
Add a smiley face or anything else you want to put on there. Just so you know it's unique. There's no way on earth that I could possibly have another card, another 3 of clubs, exactly the same as that. You ready?
Yep.
Watch the card. In fact, I'm going to sit down and do this right next to you, so you don't
Right.
miss a moment. You ready? Watch. Hand out. Place your other hand on top. Lock them in there. Don't let me get to them.
Right.
You were watching kind of closely then.
Yes.
I know how far down I placed that card. I literally live with a deck of cards in my hand.
Right.
How far down do you think I placed it?
About 3/4.
Oh, way too low.
No?
Yeah, 22 cards down. Now, I know you're thinking, is he cheating me already? No.
Surely it was more than
The reason I say this is because every time I have the cards in my hands, it comes to the top. But I haven't got the cards you have.
Right.
So, let's just prove I haven't cheated. Keep your hands on them.
Right.
Don't let me get to anything else other than the top card.
Right.
Is this the very top card?
Yes.
That is definitely the top card of
Yes.
the deck, yeah?
Yep.
Is this your card?
No.
I know you haven't cheated yet because you're going to do it. Are you ready?
Right.
So, how many cards down did I say it was?
22.
If I take one away,
21.
ready?
Yeah.
Remember that little bend in the card?
Yeah.
Loosen the grip on your hand. You're going to feel this travel. You literally feel that pop. No,
Right.
that little pop.
Yeah.
You're going to feel it happen in your hands. Ready?
Right.
In 3, 2, 1. Say, ladies and gentlemen,
Ladies and gentlemen,
you won't believe this.
you're not going to believe this.
My card just jumped to the top.
I hope it did. My card just jumped to the top.
Oh, really? No, you didn't feel it. Only the top card, nothing else. This really is the top card of the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might notice a little bend in that card. And if it has a bend and you say it's on top, then it has to be, well,
And with a smiley face
On
with the
top.
tongue out as well.
even stranger than that. Would you be more impressed if you could make every card you're holding vanish and this will genuinely be the only card left?
No, that's impossible.
Ready?
that is.
You can feel them though, yes?
Yeah.
Don't freak out because they're going to vanish. You ready? In 3, in 2, in 1. See, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen,
So you really won't believe this
you're
one.
really not going to believe this one.
Oh, the cards just vanished.
Oh, my gosh, just vanished.
Say, thank you.
Thank you.
Take a bow, Mark. You were a genius. No idea how you did that.
No.
Genuinely no idea.
No.
Now, everybody seems to think that either I'm cheating or you're cheating. Do you feel like you're cheating?
Yes.
Then take a look.
What the
That is really
Guys, that is like not even. You can put my card behind it and see. Guys, and this is why I say he has mastered his craft. This is why he is in the magic circle. And this is why it was so important to me to be able to re-record or now do Facebook Live to show everyone, one, your journey, two, your passion that you have for what you do, and three, so I didn't have to have my mind blown on my fucking own. I just wanted everyone to experience it because genuinely, can I keep this card?
You can indeed, it's yours.
Ah, wow, that is awesome. That is just, I don't need them cards. You know, you can,
I'll keep those.
You can keep them. But Lance, honestly, thank
Absolute
you so
pleasure,
much.
my friend. No,
Thank you. I really appreciate you